You're listening to the Fayetteville 411 podcast, produced by the City of Fayetteville, where you will get information about city government and the programs and services we provide. You'll get topics of interest and an inside look into the various departments that help keep our city moving. I'm John Salling.
And I'm Sherry Kropp. Thanks for joining us for the Fayetteville 411. Well, over the past few years, you may have noticed that there's a lot happening in the downtown area with fun and interesting activities and new businesses coming in. The Cool Spring Downtown District has a lot to do with that. And today, we've invited them to come in and talk about how they're making this happen and the exciting New Year's event that's coming up in just a few weeks. So joining us today is Bianca Shoneman and Ashanti Bennett. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here with you.
Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. So let's start off by just talking about who Cool Spring Downtown District is. There's a lot of people that hear it, they see your logo. What is it that you actually do? What's your mission and your role?
Sure. So the Cool Spring Downtown District is a nonprofit organization that was founded in 2017 by joint effort between the city, the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and the Downtown Alliance. And what had happened was a few years prior to the inception of the organization, a feasibility study was created to assess whether or not the city could support a performing arts center in the urban core in our downtown district. And what that study said was there just is not enough culture and entertainment in the downtown district in 2015 to bring forward a performing arts center that would thrive. So the study recommended that they stand up an arts and entertainment district in the urban core using events, placemaking, branding, and economic development tools to bring forward a sense of place and a greater sense. And so in 2017, we were started with the Arts Council, the city, and the Downtown Alliance. And so since that time, our organization has been rocking and rolling using arts and entertainment as a tool to drive a sense of place, a sense of love of community, as well as inspire entrepreneurship and reinvestment in the downtown.
Well, you just said it all right there. That's perfect. That's
why they
perfect.
pay
Everything
me
we
the
need.
big bucks, Sherry.
Yeah, so I've noticed a lot more people are coming downtown now. We've got the social district now, which you guys, that was an initiative of Cool Spring Downtown District and the city. So talk about some of the events that you have brought to the downtown area. I know when we go to some of the larger cities like Charlotte or Raleigh, we see like street performers, street entertainers. There's a lot of public art and things like that. And I've been seeing that in the downtown area.
Not only have you been seeing an increase in public art, and, you know, our partners at the Fayetteville, Cumberland County Arts Council are responsible for implementing what they call Artscape, which is an annual rotating public art sculpture exhibit that happens throughout Cumberland County. But the majority of their sculptures are in downtown Fayetteville. They sprinkle them throughout the county, but we do have a large number of sculptures in downtown Fayetteville, and that's through the Arts Council, just to be really clear. We do partner with them and sponsor those, but we like to bring forward these murals. So you might have recognized that on Old Street, right? There's a 2,000 square foot mural we call Old Street Oasis. And that was painted by a young muralist named Ada Rose, who is a military spouse who had moved here from Spokane, Washington, traveling military spouse. And she came to us and said, I'd love to paint a mural. And it took us a little bit to figure out how to paint a 2,000 square foot wall, right? Prime it appropriately, figure out how to rent a scissor lift, get the appropriate permits. But by golly, we pulled it off. And sure enough, it looks like a jungle down there.
It's beautiful.
It is
gorgeous
lovely.
mural.
It is vibrant. And that's exactly the vibe we're going for. We painted the hexagons along the Linear Creek pathway down by the Play Art Park. So you'll see we're leaning into the brand colors of the city of Fayetteville with those hexagons. One of the things I'm most proud about, Sherry, you talk about how other metropolitan areas utilize placemaking initiatives and public art, but a lot of metropolitan areas also have this program called the Downtown Ambassadors Program. And so the Cool Spring Downtown District was really proud to pilot this program about 2 years ago. We soft launched it, and the primary mission of our Safety Engagement Ambassadors team is to assist in the management of the public realm. And by that, I mean street maintenance. So we're here to serve as the concierge of the streets. If you need a safety escort to your car, if you see a piece of litter and you wouldn't like to pick it up, our Safety Ambassador team is there to do so. If you have an issue with homelessness or panhandling, we're here to deter and enforce the existing rules on the books. We're also here to support homelessness's connectivity to resources that are available. Our safety engagement ambassadors are on the ground 7 days a week, serving as, like I said earlier, the concierge of the streets. And we absolutely adore the fact that the city of Fayetteville sees the value in supporting the safety engagement ambassador team, who are available 7 days a week, over 70 hours a week in the downtown district to keep it beautiful, keep it safe, and make it hospitable.
All right. And what role do you guys kind of play in the economic impact of downtown, as well as bringing more businesses to downtown?
Sure. Just recently, we partnered with the City of Fayetteville's Community and Economic Development Department alongside of the FCEDC and Distinctly Fayetteville, our tourism development marketing arm. And what we did was Cool Spring led the charge to bring in RevPar International, which is a company that does hospitality analysis. So we led a hotel feasibility study to look at how we could bring a hotel forward for our urban core, with a performing arts center that's coming forward. Now is the time to really think about investments such as lodging that would complement that particular large format public asset. So we just did that. We also work to advocate alongside of our businesses for permitting and small business grants that might facilitate commerce in an easier way. All cities, not just Fayetteville, get a bad rap for, it's so hard to get a business permit, blah, blah, blah. We actually have an ombudsman in place here at the City of Fayetteville who helps businesses navigate how to work the permitting channels and make sure that their businesses get up and started. Also, Chris Colley's office through the Community and Economic Development Department runs several programs to include loan programs and facade grant programs to assist in businesses improving not only their physical appearance, but also the back end of their houses so that they can get started and soft launch into our community. We work alongside of Chris's department on a regular basis, as well as our Development Services Department, to communicate the needs of our small business community and also to ensure that the services that we have are probably the best tools that we have. Because sometimes, the rules and laws change. And so we stay abreast of state level and federal level policies and resources that might be available. We do a regular quarterly report that highlights new businesses, closing businesses, those that are in the pipeline for development, and we track all public and private investment in the 0.55 radius in the downtown district. We also run a real estate analysis on a quarterly report to look at what's the average price per square foot, what's the vacancy rate, what's the absorption rate, and then we work alongside of commercial brokers to establish an awareness for why downtown matters. It's really wonderful that we have a strong commercial corridor in the Skybo area that has a lot of national chains. But the best part about downtown is the very fact that it is the most authentic place to shop and eat in our city. More entrepreneurs, more local people run businesses and support our community in the downtown district than anywhere else, right? And so if you're thinking about trying to figure out the best gift or the best way to show off your town, downtown's the place to do it because it's the most authentic example of our community.
I think you might be a little passionate about this here.
You think?
Just a little bit.
Or just knows her stuff. I don't know.
A little of both, I would say. A little of both.
How is some of this then funded and supported?
Cool Spring Downtown District is an organization that is funded through what's called a municipal service district tax. And so if you own real property in the downtown district, you pay 10 cents above and beyond the average taxation in downtown, and that's on all real property, your car, your house, etc. That money is funneled into a pot that the county collects and then distributes to the city, and some of that revenue goes to support the debt service on the parking debt, and a portion of that comes to the Cool Spring Downtown District. In addition to that, we don't just rely on that taxing district, right? I'd say that it makes up maybe a third of our annual income. We also receive support from our fabulous partners over at the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County. And then Cool Spring Downtown District, for every public dollar that we leverage, is able to turn that into $3. So we do that through corporate giving, corporate sponsorships, and then we do a good job at our events of monetizing our events, trying to figure out how to earn income within the platform of a free community event, right? So that's through t-shirt sales, cup sales, VIP experiences, mechanical rides, sometimes beer and wine, right? There's examples of how you can generate revenue within an event, but still keep it free and accessible to the public. And we're looking always to diversify how we generate revenue for our entity. Since I started in 19 with the Cool Spring Downtown District, we've tripled our operating budget. And that's something to be really proud of. It's a good example of, if you take a public dollar and you can transform it into $3 other dollars, that's a really impressive mechanism for a good use of public dollars. And that becomes because we have a great team at the Cool Spring Downtown District that thinks creatively, that works tirelessly, and that wants to survive and make the good things happen in our community for the benefit of the community. community.
And you mentioned events
Yeah.
is one way that you get some of that revenue. First of all, let's mention some of the free things that people can find whenever they come downtown.
Yes.
Sure. So I think probably one of the most forward-facing events that people are used to in the downtown is the Fourth Fridays. And we run those March through October. We close the streets in downtown for some of them, but we have vendors down there, performers, musicians. They're often themed, so there's some sort of entertainment that goes with it. In the last few years, our other colleague, Lauren Falls, who manages that particular event, has added a lot of different elements, such as the nerd market. We've had some live poetry. So it's really an opportunity to showcase and highlight the creative talent that we have in downtown. And that's a completely free event. We do that on the fourth Friday of the month, March through October. And that has just grown over the years. We recently just had our last one for the calendar year, which was the 14th annual Zombie Walk. And
Have you guys ever been to the Zombie
I
Walk?
have
Great
been to
time.
the Zombie
Fayetteville
Walk.
takes its zombies really
I
seriously.
mean, we had 17,000 zombies downtown on the last
Wow.
one. So it's a good time. It's a really good time, and it's completely free. There's always additional activities for children, for adults. And as it's grown, some of the businesses along the street like to feed in and do their own special events as well. So it's always a really good time. Friday night, you don't know what to do, just come downtown. There's going to be something there for you.
And then you have, there's sometimes entertainment on the trolley.
We do have trolley experiences.
Yes,
though.
yeah.
We do have really good trolley experiences. Sometimes we do karaoke trolleys. Sometimes we do bar hops. Sometimes we do historical tours. Sometimes, I mean, the trolley is basically a palette that you
Moving
can
venue.
paint. Yeah, it
Yes.
is a moving venue. That is a great way to explain it.
Yes.
So rent the trolley, come on the trolley. And she also operates as a regular circulator on Saturdays and Sundays between the Haymount district and the downtown district, just to connect the residential node to our business district.
And I know that sometimes on special holidays you offer carriage rides. There's carriage rides downtown.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, the Dickens holiday, you can get on a horse-drawn carriage. It's such a charming experience. You know, downtown is really beautiful. When it was designed and laid out in the late 80s, early 90s with the streetscape, putting in those 20-foot wide sidewalks was probably the best thing Fayetteville could have done for its image. It's walkable, it's accommodating for ADA compliance, it's super charming, and it's really beautiful. It feels like a European society,
Yeah,
you know?
with the cobblestone street.
The cobblestone streets, the cafes, you know, and if you're a musician and you're interested in being a busker, we'd love for you to come down and play your trombone, your saxophone, maybe not your kazoo. I don't know. Would you be open? Maybe a kazoo. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, if like
Kazoos
some
are cool.
superb
If you're like
kazooing.
a super kazoo player, that
Yes,
would be just fine.
yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
would be just fine.
I think so. Maybe a little ukulele.
You know, and right now with the holiday season, there's so many winterscapes that are out. So,
Yes.
The city and Cool Spring have partnered over the last few years to expand the number of holiday decor assets that exist at the street level. So not only have we replaced all the bows, did you know there are 200 wreaths in downtown Fayetteville?
There's
and
a
a
lot.
few years ago, there's a lot. They were pink. They were pink and not red. And so we were able to work with the city council to purchase new bows, and they're very expensive, UV protected, etc. And then since then, we've been rocking and rolling. So we have a 25-foot holiday tree outside of the market house, an 8-ball stack in front of the market house, some colorful lights in front of ASOM, and all throughout downtown, you can see reindeer on Person
It seems
Street.
like every year you add
We
something
add just
new.
a little
Yeah.
bit more. The
Just a
joy
little something.
sign, you know, in front of the Transpo Museum. It's a truly wonderful experience to be able to stroll the downtown, right? Be able to take a great photo with your family. Even at our office, we recently installed, in partnership with Segra Stadium, what is it, 12?
Yes, 12 Christmas trees.
12 live Christmas trees. Right. And so we call that, what do we call it?
Holiday Forest.
Holiday
At
Forest.
222 Hay Street.
Or Christmas tree alley.
Christmas Tree Alley.
That's
Yes.
Sherry.
It
We're
is
were you when we were braying it?
It's true. And even as we were installing those trees, folks were showing up to take their pictures.
Hold on, we got to decorate the trees.
Let us finish. Oh, there's people in there every day. I mean, whole groups of families. A family came last week, brought their own additional props. So
That's right.
we are in mini Christmas cards throughout. But it's great. You see those photos. You see that joy that it brings people.
And that's the whole point of it, is
That's the
bringing
whole point.
people out and giving them a place where they can enjoy it being a part of it, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just walking around, strolling the streets. And as you're strolling, you take your photo, and then you're like, oh, look, I can smell amazing garlic in the air. Let me stop and get a meal. And then that's how you build that community, and people just really want to embrace their downtown. So there's always something to do, even if there's not something to do. You can walk around and see beautiful public art.
And then we're going to talk about, there's two large events that you all do, and that is Juneteenth and then the New Year's Eve celebration, which is coming up here in just a few weeks. So let's dive into that and give everybody information about that event.
Absolutely. Both of those events, the city wanted to reignite a New Year's Eve event. There hadn't been sort of an official one here for about a decade when they approached us, and that was coming right out of COVID. So everybody had been locked in their houses. We were ready to be outdoor kiddies again. And at that time, I was reading this novel by Erin Morgenstern called The Night Circus. And it's an old, I was rereading it for the umpteenth time, quite frankly. And it's about this Victorian era circus that sort of just pops up one night. It gives you all of these magical experiences, and then you want to go back the next day, and it's just poofed into thin air. It's a lot of fun. And the event is already at night. We bring in all of these roving circus performers. We have fire dancers and jugglers and LED dancers and contortionists and all of this fun performance.
Aerialists.
I mean, it's
tarot
great.
carvers, magicians.
Face painters, balloon artists. We pack the park with good food because we like to eat around here, and just generally create a really great atmosphere for the community to just come out, celebrate the end of the year, and especially that first year. We were really looking forward to better times on the horizon, and none of that is embodied more than with our star. So, most places will drop something at the midnight, and we wanted to lift something into the air. And so that something is an 18-foot. How many lights do we have on that?
150 LED lights within it.
It's gorgeous. And so we, at midnight as the countdown's going, that star is rising in the air, and then it lights up and fireworks go behind it. And it's such a moment of uplifting for the community. It's one of those things where it's just pure joy. It's pure joy, and you look out into the audience, people are dancing, you see whole families, you see it from the little ones all the way to, grandmas there with you, and people just have a really great time. And we are very fortunate living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, that we always, knock on wood, have beautiful weather for New Year's. I think we only had one year where it got just a little bit chilly, but even then it wasn't actually cold. So when people come, they just stay. But we like to make sure that everybody there is having a really great time. We do a children's countdown at 9 p.m. because, again, we want the whole family to be able to come out, but we know midnight's a little late, even for the big kids sometimes. So
it's
definitely for the
littles.
littles. It's very late for us. But then, and then we put amazing talent on the stage. And we have brought some incredible talent to New Year's. Over the years, we've had Drew Hill, when they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. They brought back every member that had ever been a part of it, and we had them on the stage. It was great. Tony, Coolio, rest in peace. Rob Bass. I mean, we throw a good party.
Spinderella.
Cannot forget Spinderella. I mean, Juneteenth is a similar, endeavor with that. In 2021, same year, 2022, 21. Gosh, time is just moving on by.
Time is a construct.
I don't even know what year it is now. President Biden had made Juneteenth a federal holiday. The city of Fayetteville followed suit and asked us to create, a celebration for that. And so it's really an opportunity to celebrate what is the longest running, African-American holiday in the country, but really is the most American holidays for everyone because it actually celebrates the end of slavery in this country for the last folks to know who found out about 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation went out that they were indeed free and had been for some time, which is a case for jubilation if there's anything. And so that's why we sort of leaned into that idea of a jubilee. We just wanted to be able to, uplift the community, honor excellence in our community, and give folks a reason to gather, especially, it's the start of summer, school gets out, it's before 4th of July, and it's just really that sort of kickoff we think of as sort of summer festivities in downtown Fayetteville. But one of my favorite memories of any event we've done, and it was on day 2 of Juneteenth. At that time, we were doing a 2-day festival, which, can get a little exhausting for the little elves behind the scene, but I remember sort of going onto the stage, and I was backstage just sort of looking out at the audience, and the audience was packed, all the way back to the back gate of Festival Park that day. And Ty Tribbett was singing this song, and he sort of had his hands moving, and everybody's hands were moving. Every move he made, the audience made. And you could just see this ripple effect all the way back to the back of the park. It makes the, 20-hour day worth it when you see people enjoying themselves that way, especially when they find out it's for free.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. All of this great entertainment. Where else can you go for a free show like that?
That's where the city should really be commended for their vision and fiscal support of these 2 events. The Juneteenth and the New Year's Eve Night Circus are really big lifts for our organization, but they are funded by the city of Fayetteville. And we do this in partnership because we believe in the tactic of livability and the importance of enjoying your community. And the city sees the value in that and has given us really good fiscal support to get it off the ground. This year at our night circus, you will see 2 great bands, 2 Grammy award-winning bands. We're going to have Arrested Development, Mr. Wendell, Everyday People, Tennessee are some of their songs. And then Diggable Planets, which, Grammy-nominated artists that release the art of cool. And we are very excited. These are extremely talented musicians that will headline here at Festival Park on 12/31 between 7:30 and 12:30 that night.
Mm-hmm. We were very excited to get them. They had an incredibly successful tour this year with another great band, The Roots. And so when their name sort of came up, we were like, I don't know if we're going to get them. They're doing great things, but it just worked out that they were sort of done and they're kind of in the area. And we're happy to come to Fayetteville and bring some amazing music. I really, really cannot wait for this show. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but I think this one might be my favorite.
Something to look forward to.
It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great.
And we talked about free admission. Is there VIP opportunities?
So we have held VIP experiences in the past. We've received some feedback throughout the year. We recognize it's been a little economically challenging for folks this year who still want a little bit of an elevated experience, but maybe can't afford a full sort of VIP ticket, and we listened to that. So we do have an option this year where there will be some bleacher seating that's available, because we also hear from folks there's so much happening around, they just want a place to sort of grab their cocktail, sit and enjoy the music and have that sort of concert setting. So we're going to play with that a little bit this year. And, we will probably bring back some VIP experiences in the future, but we want to just make sure that everybody feels like they can have an opportunity to really enjoy it. But we do have other things that'll be available. We have what we sort of call in-house our libation station that is sponsored by one of our great partners, Healy Wholesale, where you'll be able to get beer, wine, and of course champagne, because it's New Year's and you don't have to wait till midnight. You can purchase it all evening long. And like I said, we have a number of food trucks that are going to be available. We're going to have some art on display. We're partnering with another local organization, Black Artists Forward. They've been at our Juneteenth. They've been at our New Year's prior to that. And they will have some art that is available for display and some that's available for sale. And of course, plenty of New Year's swag, because you can't celebrate without, giant glasses that say 2025 and noisemakers.
I can't.
No.
We live in the future.
Now, Ashanti, does all of this happen in the Festival Park area, or what is the footprint of it?
It is all in Festival Park, absolutely. We've spread in previous years, but we find that just packing all the activities right there into the park works best because folks can just park in one place, walk up, and then they have all the facilities that they need. There's restrooms available, so you don't have to kind of keep moving around and try to find what's going on. There is a children's area with bounce houses and games. So again, as we said, you bring your whole family. Go ahead and just plan to be there for the evening. You're not going to leave us before fireworks.
And do you guys need a helping hand,
Oh, I'm
volunteers?
so glad you asked that.
All the
Where do
hands. People with tentacles, please come. We would love
If you're an
that.
octopus, we'd love to
We
have
would
you.
love to have you. An event like Juneteenth or New Year's, to really run the way that we need it to run takes about 50 volunteers. And so we are a staff of 5. So y'all can do the math on that one of where that gap is for folks. And we get a lot of sort of civic groups and community groups that want to come out, folks that have volunteer hours that they need, folks that have, college kids home and they want them out of the house and they need them to go do something. We will take them and use that labor. Absolutely. We spend about 3 days loading into the park, all of the assets, and then we've got to get it all out in about 3 hours.
You can find that link, our website, visit downtownfayetteville.com. If you go into the search tool at the top right and just, Google New Year's Eve or search New Year's Eve within our website, it'll take you there, which there's a landing page for everything you need to know about what you can and can't bring into the park, who's headlining, how to volunteer, what food trucks will be there. So it's all there for you and pre-populated. So if you need more information on the New Year's Eve Night Circus, 12/31 Tuesday this year, it's Taco Tuesday, from 7:30 to 12:30 a.m. at Festival Park, visit downtownfayetteville.com is the portal to visit.
And you can also follow us on social media. We are Cool Spring Downtown District as well as the Downtown Fayetteville platform.
Awesome. Well, this is so exciting to see and talk about all of the great things that you're doing in the downtown area and the New Year's Eve event that's coming up. John, I don't know if you've ever been to it before.
It's a great time. I've been once.
Good.
Right?
Perfect.
Well, there you go. Good.
Been here 1 year.
We got them early.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys for having us. We'll come back anytime.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Fayetteville 411. The Fayetteville 411 is one of several podcasts that the city produces for our podcast channel, Radio Fayetteville. Be sure to subscribe to Radio Fayetteville, available on most of your favorite podcast streaming platforms.
You can also listen to every podcast that Radio Fayetteville has to offer by downloading the Fay TV streaming app, available now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You can view all of our video content by visiting faytv.net. To get information about city services, go to our webpage at fayettevillenc.gov. Thanks for joining us.